So now I'd like to show you how the programming of the Apex can be done. So this Apex system will come out pre-programmed where we know the details. However, there are options on site that can be configured should you have the programming lead. So the first thing you'll need to do that is the Apex programming lead itself, and then you'll need the Apex setup software. So Apex setup can be downloaded from our website, and this is the page it can be downloaded from. So it's came.com, EntraTac downloads. You then scroll down to Apex setup, which will be the latest version. There it is, and you will download it. Where you're working on previous or existing systems, you may need previous versions of Apex setup. If this is the case, then please give our technical a call. However, going forward, this will be the latest version. Okay, once you have the software loaded on, you get an icon on your desktop. You then go into that icon and you double click Apex setup. Within there, the first thing you need to do is go into the Apex tab at the top here, and under the options screen, you select the COM port number. So the way computers work is they generate a fake or fictional USB COM port. You need to make sure that that number tallies up with the number of your COM port. If you're using your PC for many other things, it may be that sometimes changes itself. So just make sure you've got that set in there. Unless you're speaking with the technical department, there's no need to touch anything else in there. Okay. So within the Apex programming system here, we've got the file, which as you'd expect under there, you've got the options to new, open, save as, and there's a list of the ones that you've already recorded. You've got in there the help bar, which tells you the Apex version that you've got. You've got in there the view, which is very simply how you'd like to display. And then you've got the Apex itself. So within Apex, you've got read, check for duplicates, write. Below that, you've got reboot system, monitor, login, real-time clock, VS for programming, test, and then options. We did just look at options. These options here, reboot, monitor, login, real-time clock, are usually ones that will be reserved for technical support. We will look at those quickly, but they're mostly what technical support will talk you through. So the ones you're actually looking for today are read, which would read in the system data. What you do is you put in there your first DEC address and your last DEC address. In my situation, I only have the one DEC. So my Apex main card is addressed as number 1, my first DEC address is number 1, and then my last DEC address is number 1. If you had a multi-block system or a tower block, you would put in there whatever you had on site. If you're only looking to read the one card, you only need to put the one number in there. So if you're just looking to administrate the doors, you would only read the first Apex card. Within that screen, you then got the options of reading flat addresses, reading door access settings, reading RFID tags, reading door settings, and reading relays. With the version I'm using, we only need to use read relays. Where you're using the EasyTag system, you may need to read RFID tags. However, if you haven't got EasyTag, then take that tick out because it does take a little while longer. Okay, once you put your tick in the relay box here, this will enable me to read the TRM4 relay and then any part that's connected to it. So I'll just click OK there, and it just takes around about 25-30 seconds. Okay, once you've read the system in, this is the display you get, and it's a standard tree formation. So at the top there, it tells you the Apex system and the date and time. If you then click on the positive, and you get your drop-down tree formation. So in there you've got DEC, doors, relays, and flats. So the first option you've got there is DEC. That is the actual main Apex board you've read. So the first thing it tells you is the address setting of it, and it tells you there the version number. Okay, then you have doors, which is quite self-explanatory, relays, and then flats. So the first thing we'll actually look at in this environment is the flats. This is where you could change the number associated to the flats. So the way we would put ours is within there we would put a number 1 in the address, and we click OK. That now becomes flat 1. This would be flat 2, and so on. This could be useful if for any reason you had addresses on site that have been changed. So perhaps there was no number 13 on site and it was now a 12A, a 14, a 12B, that kind of environment. It's very easy to change it in there. So you just double click on the handset, type in there the number you desire, and click OK. It's simple as that. One thing is to be remembered, if you need to change an Apex card, they do often come out preset as flat numbers 1 to 24. So if you haven't got a flat number stored in that position, just double click it and delete the number so that it displays empty, and then nothing will ring that port. If you don't do that, it may try to ring the same number in 2 different locations. So as I say, this will be preset for you on the configuration, but once you've set that, you just look up there. You can at that stage write the system back, but we want to look into the doors, make some changes to the door screen. So there you can see our doors that are connected. It's door 1 and door 2 in my environment. If you right click that, you get the option to edit door. Again, it just takes around about 5-10 seconds to read the information in. Within here you can put the description of the door if you so wish. This is where you're able to put coded access. I've got on mine 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got the option for 9 codes there, and then one that can be a trade time code. So it would only work during the trade times. Okay, you've got an option there for lock time, multi-language. It's possible to make the entrance panel display and speak in different languages. The volume option, we've got DR Link, which we no longer use. It is used on previous versions, but it's something technical we'll take you through. Input option would be handset door release. You've then got the option there of programming keys, and that's used for the EasyTag system. So where you have an EasyTag, it's possible to have a fob key that lets you into the programming menu. Then we've got block select underneath and welcome screen. I'll quickly go into block select in the first instance. Once you click on that, it gives you the option to make this entrance panel into a block select. Mine is currently off. If you click it as on, you get the option of main block, and then sub entrance block 0, block 1, block 2, etc. What you would do is then type in the block name, so I've got block A, block B, block C, and so on. And once you click OK, that would then give you the option of calling all of those blocks. Within welcome screen, you can change what the entrance panel display says. So you have 4 pages here, 4 lines of 32 characters. So it would always say enter number, press call. It will then alternate between the messages you've set. At my example, it says Cam8 Entrotech Apex Panel 1. It's very, very easy to change. So if there was any changes to be made, this is the screen you can make them in. Okay. Once you've made your changes, you click OK on there. You come out of that screen, you click OK at the top. It just then starts to write the information back. It is quite important that you do this. There we go. And then once you've fully made all of the changes you wanted to make there, you click the write button. So once you write it, you're then writing back to the first deck that you've done, and you would then click any changes you've made to write back those settings. It is important to remember, if you've read in the RFID tags, that you write back the RFID tags, because it will write back blank information, so it would override any programming you had. So if you're using the EasyTag system, it's very important to read that in and write that back. You would then click OK, and then it starts then to write the system back. Again, it would take around about 45 seconds. You may get the odd message saying error. It's nothing to worry about. There's future parts of the system that do not currently work with the Apex software. So if you get an error message, just click no, and it will go on to read the rest of the system. Okay, so once you've read the system in and then wrote it back, you get this screen here. It tells you complete written, and it tells you there 1 minute and 1 second. Okay, so that's the changes you need to make. It is now a good idea to save that file, so you would just click on file and save as. If you've made major changes, please do send them into our technical support team. If you can store the IS number, so within the cabinet there will be a sticker saying IS followed by a number. If you could call it that name, what it enables us to do is keep a backup at our office, and then technical support will obviously be able to offer a better support to any future users. Okay, so all you would do is click on save as, and then type in the address that you want to save it as and the file location.